Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 7 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter consumer math. And the lessons we're going to cover today are percent of a number, tax discount and more, multi-step problems with percents, estimate tips and simple interest. Okay, so let's just start with the lesson that is percent of a number, tax discount and more. Okay, here I am on grade 7 math. The chapter is consumer math and the lesson is percent of a number, tax discount and more. Okay, so let's just start with the first lesson and first example, and the example is the original price of a train ticket is $8. What is the sale price, right? So you're given you have 25% off, right? The original price of the ticket is $8. Okay, you need to calculate the sale price after 25%, right? 25%, basically you have to calculate. Okay, so let's just start with the lesson. Okay, the original price of the ticket is $8, right? You need to calculate the sale is 25%, right? Sorry, $8. So you need to calculate the price after discount, right? Basically, you have to calculate 25% of 8, right? You need to do 25 over 100 times 8, right? So 25 times 8 is 200, I think. 25 times 8 is 200. 200 divided by 2 is 200 divided by 100 is 2. That is the discount, not price after discount, right? So that means on $8 you have $2 discount, right? So price after discount is price after discount is $8 minus 2, that equals $6. That means after the discount the price of the ticket is $6. Got it? Okay, so let's just start with the examples. Basically what you have to do, the question you are given the original price and the off, you have 25% off, right? So calculate the 25% of the original price, that would be the amount you have to, that would be the discounted amount, then subtract the discounted amount after the original amount. That means this is the value of price after the sale. Got it? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Leon wants to buy a hockey stick. The original price is $80. What is the sale price? So the original price is $80 and the hockey stick is on 70% off. Okay. So the price of the hockey stick is $80 and you have to calculate the discounted price after the 70% off, right? So let's just calculate. The original price is $80. $80, right? You have to calculate the price after 70% off. Okay, so sale is 70%. First, you have to calculate the 70% of the original price, right? That means it is 5600 divided by 100, that equals 56. That is the discount. The discount is $56, right? So price after discount is 80 minus 56, right? So that would be $24. That means after the 70% off, the price of the hockey stick is $24. Got it? So the correct option is $24. Okay, the next one is a store pays $74.54 for a kitchen table. The store markups the price by 50%. What is the amount of the markup, right? So you have to calculate the markup amount, right? And the markup amount is 50%. 50% means the half of the original price. The original price is 74.54, right? So the half of 74.54 is 37.27. That means the markup is 37.27, right? The markup amount is 37. Basically, you need to understand the question. The question is the store markups the price by 50%. 50% means the half of the original price. So the original price is 74.54. So then half of it, her markup is half of, or either you can calculate 50% of 74.54, right? Both the things are exactly same. Just calculate 50% of the 74.54. The correct option is 37.27. Got it? Okay, the next one is the original price of the rug is $76. How much will Otis pay if he buys it during the sale? So the sale amount is the sale amount 75% off it is, right? So let's just calculate 75% off on 76. So the original price is $76 and you have 75% off, I think. Sorry. Sale is 75%. So you have 75% sale. The sale is 75%, right? You need to calculate the discount. So how much discount? Calculate 75% off 76, right? So 75 times 76 over 100 is 75 times 76. That is 57. That means the discounted amount is 57. So the price after discount is 76 minus 57, right? So that is $19. That means after the off, the price is $19. The correct option is $19. Got it? Okay, the next one is the sales tax rate is 10%. The Andrew buys a rose bush priced at $17. What will be the total cost including tax? So the tax is 10%, right? 10% of the cost. For example, the price of the in the given example, the price of the rose bush is 17, right? You have to calculate 10% of 17, right? Then you add that 10% of 17 to 17. That basically that is the amount you have to pay. Okay, so the tax rate is 10% and the price is tax rate is 10%. 10% means you have to pay 10% of the 10% of the price of the thing you are buying, right? For example, the price of rosebush is $17. So you have to calculate 10% of this price. So 10% of 17 is 10 divided by 10 over 100 times 17 is 1.7, I think. 10 times 17 is 10 times 17 is 170, and 170 divided by 100 is, yes, 1.7. That means the price including taxes, price with tax, that is the price of the rosebush 17, and the tax is 1.7. So just add 1.7, that would be 18.7. That means he have to pay 18.1 $18.7 including the tax. Got it? So the correct option is 18.70. Got it? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself for today. Let's just move on to next lesson, right? Okay, the next lesson is multi-step problems with persons. Okay, so let's just start with the first example. A microscope was marked up 25% from an original purchase cost of $84, right? Last Wednesday, Colton sold the microscope, earning a 20% commission on the sale price. How much commission did he make from the sale? Okay, so first you have to understand the question, right? You have to do more than one step in the question. The first one is a microscope was marked up 25% from an original cost of $84. So basically, when you have to calculate the original price, you have to add the cost and the markup, right? But you are given the markup in the percentage form. The markup is 25%. So calculate the markup on the original price, right? You have to do 25% of 84, right? The first step is evaluate the 25% of 84. So 25% of 84 is 21. Add 21 to 84, right? That means the price after 25% markup is $105, right? Okay, that is the price. Now you have 20% commission on this price. So evaluate 20% of 105. So 20% of 105 is $21. That means the commission was $21. Basically, they are very easy, but you have to evaluate the percentage. All in all, you have to do. But you have to understand the steps and then you have to evaluate, right? Okay, let's just start with this one. Okay, Ken treated his sister to lunch while visiting her in Brookfield. The lunch cost $50 and the sales tax in Brookfield is 10%. If Ken left an 18% tip of the $50, how much is total did he pay? Right? Okay, you have to include 10% tax of $50. Also, he paid 18% tip on $50. Let's just evaluate sales tax first, then tip, and the last one you have to calculate the total amount he paid, right? So first of all, I'm going to calculate the sales tax, right? Okay, first of all, I'm going to evaluate sales tax. So the sales tax is 10% of tax amount, right? Tax amount is 10% of 50, right? Okay, 10% of 50 means 10 over 100 times 50, 500, that is 5. That is the tax amount. Okay, now calculate 18% tip on $50, right? So tip is 18% of 50. So just evaluate 18 over 100 times 15. No, it is 50. 50, right? So just do 50 times 18 over 100. So 50 times 18 is 900. That means the tip is $9, right? Now you have to calculate the total amount he paid. So the total amount he paid is the $50 they did the lunch for, then $5 the tax on $50, and then $9 that is tip. So that means the total he paid is $64, right? So the correct option is 64. The total amount he have to pay is $64. Got it? The correct option is 64. So just understand the questions, do the steps one by one, right? The questions are very easy. The basic thing is you just have to evaluate the percentages, but do carefully. Alan works at a store in Newton where he earns a basic salary of $70 per week plus a commission of 16% of sales. If Alan sold $75 worth of merchandise during the first week of the month, what is his pay at the first week? Okay, $70 he will get every week, and he have will get 16% of the sales. So he did the sales of $75, right? He did the sale of, what's wrong with this pen? Okay, so you have to calculate 16% of 75, right? That 16% of 75 is the uh, is her commission, right? Okay, so that would be 16% of 75, that is $12, right? That means the commission he got is $12. So the weekly salary is 75 and the commission is 12. That means this week he got the salary of $82. Got it? So the correct option is $82. Got it? Okay, a barbecue grill was marked up 25% of an original cost of $80. If Puni bought a barbecue grill and paid $8 sales tax, how much total did she pay? So, which is the correct option? Okay, so the first thing is a barbecue grill was marked up 25% off an original cost of $80, right? The original cost is $80. You have to mark up 25%. So just calculate the 25% of 80. I think Samuel, you have to do the percentages chapter first because I think you have problem with percentages. Here you just have to calculate their percentages and you have to add. So listen to me carefully, but still you have problem. Go contact any tutor on the Skype. Probably they will help you with this matter, or either do the chapter percentages first, right? Okay, the steps you have to do here is the first thing is a barbecue grill was marked up 25% of an original cost. The original cost is 80%. You have to calculate 25% of 80. So 25% of 80, how you calculate? You have to do 25 over 100 times 80, right? That would be 25 times 80 over 100. That is 20. So 25% markup on 80 is $20. So that means after the markup, the price is 80 plus 20, 100, right? Okay, the price after markup is 80 plus 20, that would be 100. Okay, now on 100 you have to pay the 8% tax, right? 8% tax means you have to pay $8 on $100 purchase, right? So 100 plus 8 is 100 paid. That means the total amount he have to pay is $100, $108, right? So the correct option is $108. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next one is estimate tips. So let's just start with the next lesson, that is estimate tips. Okay, so let's just start with the first example. Estimate the amount of tip by rounding the bill to the nearest dollar before calculating. 25% tip on bill of 19.66. The first thing is you have to round off the bill, right? 19.99 is rounded off to 20, right? Then you have to evaluate 20% of 20, right? So 20% of 20 is, the simple thing is you have to evaluate 9.19 point, round off 19.66, right? So 19.6 is rounded off to 20. Now you have to evaluate 20% of 20. So you have to do 20 over 100 times 20. That would be 400 divided by 100 is 4. So that means tip you have to pay on $20 is 4, right? So the total amount you have, this is the tip, and amount including tip is 4 and plus the 20, that is 24. That means including tip he have to pay 24%. But I think in the question you just have to evaluate the tip. The tip is $4, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, estimate the amount of the tip by rounding the bill to the nearest dollar before calculating, right? So you have 71.16. So first you have to round off 71.16, right? So 71.16 is rounded off to nearest dollar you have to, so it would be rounded off to 70, right? Now evaluate 70 dollars, evaluate 20% of 17, right? So 20% of 17 is, but the question is you have to round off the numbers. Then how, if you round off the value, how it is in the points, how the answer is still in decimals? Okay, 71 it is. Okay, you have to round off to 71, not 70, right? Got it now. Okay, there's 71.16 is rounded off to 71. So you have to evaluate 20% of 71, right? So just evaluate 20% of 20% of 71. So 20% of 71 is 14.2, right? Yes, that is 14.2. So option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay, so the next one is 20% is find the amount of tip by rounding the bill to the each to the nearest dollar before calculating, right? You have to evaluate 20% on a bill of 39.20, right? First you have to round off 39, right? So 39.20 is rounded off to 39, right? You have to round 39. Now you have to evaluate 20% of 39. So 20% of 39 is, I think 7.88 is 39 times 20 over 100. That is $7.8. That means the tip you have to pay on the bill of $39.20 is $7.8, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. That is $7.8. Okay, the next one is estimate the amount of tip by rounding the bill to the nearest dollar after calculating. So 20% tip on a bill of 82.11 is, so which is the correct option? 82.11 is rounded off to 82, right? So just calculate 20% of 82. So 20% of 82 is 16.40. The correct option is option number 1, that is 16.40. So the correct option is 12.11 is rounded off to 12, right? Yes, that would be 2.40. The correct option is 2.40, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is simple interest. Okay, Alice has $20 in his saving accounts that earns 10% interest per year. The interest is not compounded. How much will she have in 1 year? So the basic things you have to understand is the $20 is the principal amount, right? You can don't represent it P, principal amount it is, right? Then 10% is the interest rate. and 1 year is the time duration, right? So you have to use the formula that is I equals, because that is not compounded, so you have to evaluate I equals p rt. P is the principal amount, that is 20. R is the interest rate, 10 divided by 100, 10%, right, or 0.1. And T is the time, that is 1 year. Just multiply and evaluate the value, right? Principal amount means the starting amount, the amount you have in your account when you start paying the interest. Got it? So when you have to evaluate, the correct option is $22, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, Damon has $90 in her saving account that earns 10% annually. Okay, so and our interest rate is 10%, and the interest is not compounded. Not compounded mean that is simple interest. How much will he have in 1 year, right? So basically, this is the principal amount P, this is the interest rate I, and this is the T. So use the formula that is I equals P R T. P is the principal amount, that is $90. R is the interest rate, that is 10% or 0.1, and time duration is 1 year. So just evaluate 90 times 0.1 times 1, that is 9, right? So you have to $90 you already have, and $9 after the in after 1 year, right? So 90 plus 9 is $99. That means after 1 year you have $99. The correct option is 99. Okay, the next one is Ruby has $60 in his saving account that earns 10% annually. The interest is not compounded. How much will he have to pay in? He have earn in 1 year, right? So you have to evaluate the interest on $60. That is the principal amount, that is the interest rate, and that is the time. So just evaluate I equals P is 60, R is 0.1, and T is 1. So when you multiply, it would be $6. That means after 1 year he earns $6 on $60, right? So the correct option is $6. Vivin has $20 in a saving account that earns 10% interest per year. The interest is not compounded. How much will he have in 1 year? So which is the correct option? In pay principal amount is $20. The interest rate is 10%, and time duration is 1 year. So which is the correct option? So when you evaluate, that would be just $2. So after 1 year, the amount she have is $20, $22. The correct option is 22. Whitney has $100 in his saving account that earns 10% interest per year. The interest is not compounded. How much will she pay have in 1 year? So which is the correct option? The correct option is you have the principal amount 100, the interest rate, that is 10%, and the time duration is 1 year. So just evaluate the interest. Yes, that is $10. And when you add, after 1 year, the total amount is $110. Option number two is the correct option. Okay, Josie has $40 in her saving account that earns 10% annually. The interest is not compounded. How much will she have in 1 year? So, which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is $44, right? When you evaluate using the formula I equals PRT, that would be just $4, right? So $4 plus 40 is $44, right? So after 1 year, she have $44. Jordan has $80 in his saving account that earns 5% annually. Okay, now the interest rate is 5%, right? The interest is not compounded. How much interest will he earn in 1 year? So you have to evaluate 5%, right? So that multiply 80 times 5% is 0.5. 80 times 0.5 divided times 1. That would be $4, right? That is 0.05, right? 5 over 100 is 0.05 times 80 times 1. That would be $4. So that means the interest is $4, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. Okay, so we're working on the chapter consumer math, and the lessons we have covered today are percent of a number, tax discount, and more, multi-step problems with percents and estimate tips and simple interest. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that will be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.